Hey everyone, today we are back in the custom pack. This is the Bison pack. It is made just to pill Bison. It's going to be in the background. We're going to talk about it later. We're here today for a bunch of top 3 lists. It's kind of like a mix between RevGT's top 10, Grounded's massive multiple top 10s. Here's the criteria. The first thing, availability. We're going to consider all tiers. Exponential potential, domino effect, and number 3, synergy. We're going to rapid fire this really quick. The first one is scalers. Of course, what better way to start than the hatching chick? The glaring omission from RevGTs. You get stats, you can get experience if you go far with it. Next, we have the cat and the monkey. The monkey, very consistent, very solid. The cat, have that domino effect with the food. And of course, I am a huge fan of the lioness. It's a love-hate relationship because I think it's way easy to use. Cascade, 50-50, 100-100 chop. The world is your oyster. Next, we are getting into snipers. So what do you think is going to be on this list? It's going to be interesting. First, we have Lynx. I think Lynx is just a strong general sniper when you think of croc, mantis shrimp, dolphin. I think Lynx is the best. Next, it's a mix between Nurse Shark and Cobra. Even though they've received nerfs, or at least Nurse Shark has, I considered a sea serpent in this slot as well, but those type pets, kind of keeping it general to like those type pets. Number 1 is hedgehog. You can do so many things with it. Hedgehog blowfish, hedgehog camel blowfish, beluga hedgehog, so many things. Pita breads on your team. If there are pets or certain things missing from this list, by the way, I want to mention it's probably because they're included later. I didn't want to duplicate things. So now we're getting into perks. Number 3, I just think it's rice. Sorry for putting some stuff sideways or upside down. Just ran out of room. I was kind of stuck with the graphic. Seagull rice, all the things you can do with rice, right? Number 2, this is going to be plain and simple. I think it's mushroom. So many things you can do with mushroom. I'm not considering peanuts or coconut in this, by the way. Just kind of like the regular perks you can buy from the shop. And of course, number 1 is melon. I think this is very standard, very self-explanatory. Some of these categories are not going to be too exciting, but I'm just, I'm just throwing stuff out there, and some of the categories are going to get very interesting. It's all about trying to spur the discussion. I'm sure I'm going to have glaring omissions like some of the other lists. Number 3, mantis pet, or top 3 mantis pets. Number 3 is the beta fish. The beta fish is just such a standard take for a mantis. It's a targeted scaling. It's a really, really good pet for a tier 3. Number 2, of course, it's a mammoth. You probably could have guessed it. You can probably guess what number 1 is, now that you've seen 2 and 3. Not the most exciting category again, but of course, I'm Metabrusque. I gotta include the mantis. It's the blobfish, or as Sag likes to call it, the bongfish. Shout out the bongfish, let's go. Oh, that thing's so funny. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to link a video or something if you ask in the comments. Well, the next category we have is food. I buy so much food. A lot of times it's to a detriment. I don't buy perks. Number 3, I have pizza. Pizza just so solid, but it's not targeted. It is random, but it's such good. It's plus 4/4 in stats. You can't really beat it. The next best things I think are going to be the targeted foods. So obviously you have chicken leg, just the highest tier targeted food you can get. I think Peach of Immortality is a great one, but it's not at the top. My top is pear because I have bought so many pears, it is ridiculous. And honestly, I'm just kind of scared of Peach of Immortality. Usually, even if I do like a food build, I just haven't really got cooking with it. Wanted to shout out Table for 2 with his Peach of Immortality shenanigans because it is probably the most powerful one. But yeah, it's not included on any list. So not top 3 pets. Number 3, we have starfish. These are pets that I just don't like or frustrate me/the community right now. Starfish, Leviathan starfish. Oh, we got our first Bison pill. Look at that. Number 2, no surprise here. Vulture, if you know, you know. It shows up in many videos. If we can beat the Vulture team, it's great. But man, it's kind of frustrating just running into it so consistently. Trying to get more diversity in the pool. Number 1, it's a combination of Brain Cramp and Kangaroo. Brain Cramp was the nemesis of the weekly for like a month and a half or so. And then it transitioned to the friend ahead pets, and the kangaroo I put in there just to cover all the friend aheads, even stuff like the poison dart frog, the snake, the muskox, all that stuff. It's just ridiculous. So I had to cover that. Gonna take a little breather here. We're rapid firing through this. We don't have too much more actually. I just thought I'd have some fun with this. Now we're gonna get into top 3 synergies. This is just general synergies, and I just put a 3-way tie at number 3. Food, experience builds, and money builds. So money builds, you think like Bop. Experience builds, team spirit, shenanigans, and then the food builds with like the cat again. They're just all so strong. I love them all. Number 2, we're going to get some repetition here because ailment is just so strong in general. Let's think of stuff like Manticore, Vampire Bat, Frost Wolf, everything in between you can do with it. Even stuff like the microbe, which I put on here to remind people, like the OG ailment pet, so good. And what I believe is the top synergy right now is perks. I put the coconut because I had those coconut crab real velociraptor videos. I think it's just so strong. I've messed around with the wildebeest a lot recently in weeklies and in the custom pack. Perks, you just can't get through it. The only reason I don't have snipers up here, by the way, is because I put it in its own category. I think snipers would probably be the top of everything. It's just the most consistent. It counters most everything. If you're strong enough, there's few things that can really counter you because you're kind of the thing that counters. So it's hard to really get countered. So we got top 3 brusques. I didn't know what this category was quite at first, but I think it makes sense now that I put some pets up there. Number 3 is the pelican and the badger. They're just brusques because they brusque. You go honey badger in the back, you go melon badger in the front. The pelican, just so many shenanigans you can do with it. Number 2 is the manatee. I feel like it would be the channel logo if I made a channel logo like around a different pet. That 5-of-a-kind manatee I am so proud of. And number 1, of course, it's the mantis. I had to shout out the mantis at some point. It is way too powerful. I even went to wild packs recently with a meta brusque pack, just picking every pet I love and going wild with it. And every time I take a mantis, I seem to win. It's just crazy. Shout out Grounded Sap because he recognized it and he's really frustrated by it, I think. And I actually agree. Because even if it gets nerfed like to half the stats, I think I'll still use it. Pretty much the same way. So now we're going to transition to the 2 final categories. This one is top 3 metas. I know it's going to be very similar to synergies, but I think this is current like metas in the game or metas we've seen throughout the history of the game. So number 3 is summon teams. I put Turkey and Eagle here. Think the Jersey Devil meta we had. Think like Amalgamation even we're getting some crazy things you can do with that. It's insane. Number 2 is Vampire Bat ailments. So it's just kind of the same as synergies, but I wanted to basically highlight it or just kind of, put it to rest that I believe ailment builds are so strong, as well as perk builds. There's the real Velociraptor. I'm sorry, it's a little anticlimactic, but when I made these lists, I was kind of looking for some diversity, and then I kind of settled on this in the end, and then I had some trouble with my video editing software, and I'm pretty much at the point where I couldn't change it anymore. I don't think I would change it. I would just maybe change a couple of these categories to get them a little more diverse, but the perk meta is just so ridiculous. Now the final category, top 3 pets. You're going to see some pets in here maybe that you were expecting earlier, but probably not. I think this is going to surprise people. This is just in general top 3 pets, in my opinion. Number 3 comes in with more of a utility pet. It's the alpaca. It's just so good. You can cascade. If you get an early alpaca and then you keep bringing in, like pivoting your team tier 5s, tier 6s, you can get a full team of tier 5 or tier 6 level 3s very, very quickly. Especially if you consider things like the crow, you have some sort of money generation on your team going. The alpaca, we've all used it in broken ways. Number 2, we all hate it. We all loved it at one point. It's the leopard. It's just so powerful. It would be, the top sniper probably. It's not as far as like the maximum potential, right? That'd probably be the dung beetle right now. but it's just in general the top sniper. I mean, it comes from the turtle pack. Speaking of the turtle pack, this is probably going to surprise a lot of people, but I believe based on the tier, based on the tempo they give you and the potential for the late game, the turtle and the deer are the strongest or the top pets in the game. There goes another bison. You consider the deer, you can get it early. The chili is so effective early. You level it up a little bit. You get a turkey going to give the bus the stats. You throw a mushroom on the deer later. It just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. The turtle, same thing. You bring it in. You're scaling whatever the turtle's passing the melon to. The early melon is ridiculous if you have scaling going. And you can decide to level it up. You don't have to level it up. You can throw a banana on it. You don't have to throw a banana on it. You can pill it. You can just, I mean, there's so many things. So, in my opinion, those two pets, obviously a little turtle pack bias there. But those are my lists. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you let me know what you think of it. I know it's nowhere near perfect, but I'm pretty satisfied with all of it. Like I said, there's a couple categories. The food one, I think Peach of Immortality. The sniper category, and some of them are more just general, right? I had Nurse Shark in there, but it's not necessarily Nurse Shark. It's just generally units with those abilities. You know, Cobra I put in there, but Snake I could have had in there as well. I kind of put Cobra just because you can scale it, and it can, you know, level 3 50-50 Cobra. A couple of omissions I wanted to talk about, as we keep having more Bisons get pilled. I think that's 3 Bisons pilled in this. We had 3 Bisons pilled, and I believe we're in a new run now. This is a bonus clip, and there's going to be more Bisons pilled. So let's talk about omissions. One of the omissions, glaring, I think, that I talk about a good amount is the Hydra. I say if you have a 50-50 level 3 Hydra and your opponent doesn't, you will win. If your opponent has one and you don't, it doesn't matter what you have, they will win. Another one that's just in general like super OP when you consider the, especially like shop scaling, is the Behemoth. Obviously getting to 100 stat line, and then you consider stuff like coconuts, melon. It can be very, very dangerous. There's some more, probably. Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. I think I had more in my mind at one point, but that was a lot going through all those lists real quick. So this setup I had here was really funny for pilling the Bison. I believe the first run was more of a normal, like just bring a couple of Bison in, pill them, whatever. This one I specifically set up Seagull Banana so I can bring only Bison in and then pill them and then get monkeys. So at least I get something from pilling the Bison. So it's kind of a combination of a summon and scaling team. I thought it was really fun. I was just looking for creative ways to basically pill Bison and get wins. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't really care if I was being a scumbag in other ways with banana pill shenanigans or whatever. But yeah, there's a pill. Rejected. We reject the Bison, even though we don't have a level 3. So they wouldn't be effective Bisons, but that's not the point. And the reason we're doing this is because I've been very lucky in Super Auto Pets lately. And I've said many times I need to go and pill some Bison to like replenish my luck stock, to, you know, to sacrifice to the SAP Gods, to show them I throw myself at your mercy. Please do not let this luck run out. Let's keep this roll going because I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving this game. I play it a lot, and it seems like every time I play it, I'm finding new things. New ways to enjoy it, new ways to play. Recently hopped into ranked, doing random customs, doing wild packs, and there's so many other things I'm not doing. So as you hear the music come in, we're going to ride off into the sunset. If you hung around this long, I really do appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.
just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up.
Rejected. Rejected.
Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights. Turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly.